What's up everyone and welcome back to Fiction Tea Review. So today I'm going to be talking about the new movie, Nope, by Jordan Peele. It's brought to you by my self-published book, Rain. It is a psychological thriller about a group of young adults in a psych ward who get this new counselor that's trying to understand their mental illnesses and trying to understand them. But then the counselor shortly learns that these kids might not be crazy and that this place is actually making them crazy, all the while trying to figure out what's going on with him and his psychological demons and his problems. If you would like more information about this book, be sure to hit the link in the description box below. Supporting me and buying these books actually helps. So, let's get into it. So, Nope movie is rated R, it is Universal Pictures, and it came out this year, 2022. And it is 2 hours and 10 minutes long. It is a horror sci-fi. It's directed by Jordan Peele. The plot is two siblings who run a California horse ranch discover something wonderful and sinister in the skies above, while the owner of a adjacent theme park tries to profit from the mysterious otherworldly phenomenon. The actors are Kekepalmer, danielkaluuya, Yeun, Brandon Perea, and more. Okay, first off, I just want to say, spoiler alert, I'm going to spoil this movie, so if you have not seen it yet, definitely don't watch this review, I warned you. Also, I just want to say, I have boobs on my shirt, and if you want a shirt, link in the bio. I made these shirts. Anyway, so what I really liked about this movie, the fact that yes, it did have a slow burn, but it didn't have like really gory things, and it didn't really need gory things to actually tell you that, oh my god, this is a horror movie. There were moments that like really creeped me out, like once in a blue something would creep me out. But for the most part, I do feel like even though this wasn't predictable, it definitely had like its jump scares and its beautiful way of like storytelling in a way where you didn't need someone to be killed every second, or you didn't need just horrific things to happen in order for you to know like this movie is scary. Now it did happen where, spoiler alert, there were scenes where the extraterrestrial being, if you will, sprayed blood everywhere, and that scene was intense. And also the chimp scene was crazy, crazy. I really liked it. I think he did a really good way of storytelling without revealing too much too. Like it wasn't, I know a lot of people was like, what is this movie about? It made no sense, but I feel like the ambiguity that went along with this film from beginning to end was actually really good paced, and I thought that the writing was like really good. And this movie definitely reminded me of that movie Signs, I think it's called. And I don't really remember much of that movie, honestly, from childhood. I didn't like the movie Signs as a kid, but I like this. I know other people talk about in their reviews that he got some influence from Jaws and some other stuff, which you kind of can tell, and I wouldn't be surprised because he's a genius, mastermind. Your interview with Jordan Peele actually talked about the fact that he used to go at that pace and then wanted to make it seem like, oh, gory stuff, gory here, blood here, people getting attacked every second. He wanted to kind of build up to that storytelling. This movie actually made me like horror films again, because for a while I was just I kind of gave up on horror, besides like old school horror films, because I was just like, all the horror films that I've seen are like thrillers, or they just sucked. But this actually made me really inspired and feel like, wow, I think I'm like into horror again. I don't know. I also have like this cowboy and aliens thematical thing going on too. Like that was definitely a theme. Also, is that an animated movie? Is that an animated film, Cowboys and Aliens? That is definitely from something else. I just can't remember. One thing I will say, and this is something that everybody literally talked about, is the fact that there was no character development. Like, for example, Jupe, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's played by Steven Yeun. His character went through a very traumatical period when he was the child star, and then nothing really was discussed about that or really shown too much. And then he ended up being killed, and then the sister and her relationship with the family and all that stuff. No scenes was shown with the dad in Emerald. I would have liked to see at least that, like maybe in the beginning, show how their relationship was. I mean, I did come to an understanding for myself and was like, this is a sci-fi movie. There's only so much you're gonna get. But it also was 2 hours and some minutes, so I think it's not like a flashback that maybe like in the beginning when the dad was killed. I am spoiling a lot, but like I said, if you didn't see it, don't watch this. But one thing I will say, and this is something that everybody literally talked about, is the fact that there was no character development. Like, for example, Jupe, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he was played by Steven Yeun. His character went through a very traumatical period when he was the child star, and then nothing really was discussed about that or really shown too much. And then he ended up being killed, and then the sister and her relationship with the family and all that stuff. No scenes was shown with the dad in Emerald. I would have liked to see at least that, like maybe in the beginning, show how their relationship was. I mean, I did come to an understanding for myself and was like, this is a sci-fi movie. There's only so much you're gonna get. But it also was 2 hours and some minutes, so I think it's not like a flashback that maybe like in the beginning when the dad was killed. I am spoiling a lot, but like I said, if you didn't see it, don't watch this. But it would have been nice to see. But other than that, I felt like the character development was fine because I'm just like, this is sci-fi. This is not like, although there was storytelling with the horror and the visuals. I think that's what the storytelling was mostly focused on. Less dialogue and more performance and just storytelling through whatever that saucer thing was. Also, the saucer thing, I did like it in the beginning, but then when it became like this kind of jellyfish thing, it was kind of weird, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what's happening. All right, I guess there's only so much that you can do with a flying saucer, and what do you make that into? Yeah, and lastly, I just have to say, I know this is creepy as heck, but this is a horror film. So the blood coming down from the ship, the chimpanzee going buck wild crazy, and just that random shoe sitting there, it was very cinematic and it was really beautiful for a horror film in a weird, creepy way. I liked it. I enjoyed this film. And I don't know why people didn't like it, but I also know why people probably didn't like it. But I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was cool, and I think Jordan Peele is amazing. His movies are great. They're great, and I can't wait to hear more, see more. Although I do want to know what's the meaning behind that shoe. That shoe that was just sitting up. Like, tell us. I want to know. I know he like him as a director and as a writer, he knows because he wrote it. But like this, the shoe was just sitting aligned perfectly, never fell. I need answers. And comment below, let me know what did you think about the movie. Nope. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Was it confusing? Let me know.